Hi guys, welcome back for another one. I'm here with a very special guest to go over our top 5 free-to-play friendly characters in the game. So I'd like to introduce you guys to Nature Boy. If you're not familiar with him, he is on YouTube. You guys can check out his channel. The link will be in the description down below. He is also known for writing Valley Fly-In's pitch meetings. Nature Boy, how's it going?
Oh, it's going okay. I'm feeling okay about the game this week. I think I'm taking it week by week at this point, but I think this blog post, I think it's going to be a decent week.
That's the best thing we can do, right? Yeah. With that said, if you guys are ready for our top 5 characters, you know what to do. Sit back, relax, and let's get into it. Okay, guys, today we're going to do this simply as me going first. I'm going to give you guys my top 5, and then Nature Boy's going to come back and give you his top 5. And I'm going to start this off with an honorable mention, and also probably I want to explain a little bit how I came with my top 5, as some of you may be thinking I'm crazy watching this video. So first off, let's get to my honorable mention. So my honorable mention for this top 5 list is Emma. She's a very plug-and-play friendly character in this game. She is, however, hidden behind the milestone orb. Now, there are various ways you can rank up or get a lot of this milestone 2 orb to help unlock this character and also build her up over time. So for my list today, guys, I just want to let you guys know, to give you a little prerequisite here. I went and looked at each store and each different way you can farm a character in this game and picked out the one best character you can get. So in this way, I kind of got is more of like an exclusive pick, with obviously the milestone orb being a lot more friendly than the premium orb. So honorable mention, knowing that I'm picking a different character from each different store category today. What do you think about Emma?
I like Emma. And she unlocks Magneto because she's a mutant. The thing that I used to weigh the heaviest was I went into the legendary screen to see who unlocks what legendaries, and I put the most weight on who unlocks a legendary. So I agree with you 100% that she's a great plug and play character. She's useful, and she's still useful in many different game modes, which is good. And if you enjoy war, she's still a good defense war option too. So I totally agree. I didn't put her on my list. I have a different honorable mention. But I definitely think she might be number 6 on the list.
All right, good. So my number 5 is going to probably be one where it's going to be a little bit controversial. I'll explain my pick, but I want to look at who is farmable from a campaign node early in this game. So my number 5 free-to-play friendly character available pretty early in this game is Squirrel Girl. Main reason why I pick Squirrel Girl for most free-to-play players is that she's located, like I said, even before you hit level, I think you can get her before you even hit level 60 in this game. She's available in the Nexus campaign, chapter 4, section 3. She just got a stat increase just recently with the Young Avengers, with Echo and Kate Bishop hitting the game. Very plug and play friendly, can help clear a lot of content, including monthly challenges, other campaigns, and so much more. Very useful. What's your thoughts here?
Honestly, I didn't consider her, and I kind of regret that I didn't. But for me personally, I use her as my war defense pretty much exclusively. I agree with you. She's early farmable, which is great. For me, I don't put much emphasis on war defense, but I wanted one really good like stopper to protect my room. So yeah. I did put some in the Young Avengers, and I invested in the new characters. But if you're a newer player, I agree. I think that she's not in my top 5, but she's definitely on the list, maybe, top 10.
All right, good. So next, we're going to move on to the Arena Store. And the Arena Store, before I show you guys my character for the number 4 pick, the Arena Store is actually not that great for endgame characters. There's just not that many endgame characters that are viable unless you're a war lover. There's just not much there. So with that said, let's jump into my number 4 pick. So my arena pick is Mordo. I know not a lot of people consider this character an endgame character, but this character actually had viability in the base Doom 1, had base difficulty, could perform well there with his, his blinds, his heal blocks, and he just got a stat increase with the Dark Hunters, which makes him even better than he was before, and he's only 350 to farm in the arena, making him super cheap for early players to get him. Can help you unlock Phoenix, help you get to Hela to start farming Hela, which is a good mid-game character to get and to build up. And that's the main reason why, based on the value and the characters that are in the Arena Store, I do find him the best free-to-play friendly character in the Arena Store.
In the Arena Store, it's a bad store, man. It's it's just it's not a good concept at all. And he's, as far as free to play characters go, he's definitely one of the better ones, and he's cheap too. You know, he's because he's been around a while, and I believe he's in Legendary One orbs too, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, you can get him in fairly easily, and he's a good character. Your list is definitely interesting. And I think it's pretty cool because this is a wild take on the usual top five characters. So
Yeah.
I would definitely encourage players to get Mordo because, like you said, he'll help two legendary characters, not just one.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't think about that either.
All right. All right. So the next place we're moving on to is the Blitz Store. All right. So my Blitz Store pick is Shang-Chi. Now, he's currently orb exclusive in the Blitz Store, but if you're someone who opens the orbs pretty regularly and doesn't actually buy characters out of the store directly, which I highly recommend for new players, especially the free to play, to open the orbs versus farming characters directly, you will eventually unlock this character and be able to have this character maxed out, as I've been able to max him out by just opening up Blitz orbs and not really having to do anything else to get him maxed out. So he's has end game viability. Hero City is actually one of the very best tags a character can have in this game, which he definitely fills. Dark Dimension Endgame, early to get, great throughout, until that his power crept in this game, which will be some time.
He's a great character, no doubt about it. He's good standalone. For me personally, I don't have as many Blitz orbs as you or maybe some other people do. So it's a long grind for me to get him maxed out. But I think for me, when I was looking at my list, because he's an orb exclusive with the Blitz orb, there is a little bit easier characters that you could get for him. So he's definitely up there. I just didn't include him on my list, but I would still encourage people to get him.
Yep, fair enough. All right, let's move on to the Raid Store. So my number two free to play picked character out of the Raid Store is Cloak. There's another character that I rank very closely in the Raid Store, right with Cloak, but I definitely wanted to make sure I had a variety, so I went with Cloak instead of this other character. So for me, top character to farm out of the Raid Store is Cloak. A lot of end game viability. Having like I said, the city tag in general used to be a very niche group where you needed symbiotes or you just struggled with anything that involved city. That's not true anymore with the release of Cloak and Dagger. He dodges like crazy. I single-handedly won a war match the other day on Cloak alone. He just kept dodging everything, wouldn't die, so it allowed my Silver Surfer to pick everyone off one by one with just those two remaining, which should have been a loss if he would just have failed to dodge once. Definitely a very nuisance. Highly recommend a Dark Dimension character and also an endgame raid character. I don't know if you can really say anything bad about him, but go ahead, Nature Boy.
No, there's nothing you can say bad about him. Once again, he's not on my list, and the only reason why is because while he's a devastating character, his ult is one of the best in the game in my opinion. Pairing him up with Dagger is incredible. He's great for city now. There's a city solution besides this, the symbiotes. They were kind of an intermediary between the symbiotes and the web warriors. But the only reason why he's not on my list is because standalone, without Dagger, he's not the greatest. He does have a lot of good attributes and definitely want to farm him in the Raid Store when he pops up, but he's kind of limited in his game modes without Dagger. It's kind of like the dad bros. You can't have one without the other. It's like Cloak and Dagger. It's like hard to have one without the other. That's literally only reason why I didn't put him on my list.
True. All right. So with that said, let's jump into my number one. And my number one's obviously coming from the War Store. So let's get into it. So my number one out of the War Store is Maria Hill. I think it's very easily to make several characters in the top 5 free to play friendly to come out of the War Store, to be honest, in this game. That's why I didn't really want to include more than one, just because that resource is so valuable between gold and character shards. It's really hard to tell a player what they should be doing with their war currency because it is so It's so valuable. But Maria Hill, honestly, as a character, you guys are going to see in my resource management series that she is ranked very high, has a crap ton of things she can do and cover in this game with all of her tags, not only having the shield tag, but the secret avenger tag that covers so much stuff in the game, just in general. Can help unlock Iron Man. Not that that's a big accomplishment currently. But yeah, just Maria Hill in general. She's awesome.
Yes, and we actually agreed on this one 100% as number one. She's also my number one pick. Her only downside is that she's a War Store character, but she's an absolute raid meta. She unlocks Iron Man and Omega Red.
Yes.
She's a meta war offense team with her Secret Avengers. She's an incredible global choice for DD3 and 4. If you're a mid game player, you can use her in arena while you're climbing the ranks because you're going to see you're not going to see the Eternals as much climbing up, and she wins in 8.3 very consistently for Blitz. She's kind of a no brainer.
All right. So that was all his points for his number one. But we're going to cover your other four characters in your top five or in your honorable mention. You said you had an honorable mention.
Yep.
So let's get into it.
All right, so my honorable mention was Symbiote Spider-Man and OG Spider-Man, and you're only going to see Symbiote on the screen because we can't show them both. But Symbiote Spider-Man is great because he's a node farm, and OG Spider-Man is a blitz farm, and they're both raid meta. You can still use the symbiotes in the Doom 1 raids. You can use the symbiotes in the Ultima 7 raids if you're still climbing up. OG Spider-Man is going to be in the Web Warriors, which is the newest raid meta, so you can't go wrong with that. They both unlock Shuri. They're both moderate war offense teams. They're not super up there, but you can kind of use them to do cleanup work. Definitely meta in DD3, DD4 city nodes, especially Symbiote Spider-Man has those Dark Dimension traits specific. And I find that Web Warriors and the Symbiotes win in 8.3 for Blitz.
True. Yeah, they're great picks. They're definitely free to play friendly. Obviously, Symbiotes with Web Warriors have lost some of their value, but still very valuable characters in their own right. Just unfortunately, it's because they're all bio, and you kind of, as a new player, you're kind of in a corner to pick one over the other, Yeah. So, yeah. All right. So we're going to jump into your number 5.
Okay. So number 5 for me is going to be Zemo. And Zemo is kind of like my counter to when you picked Emma. It's a plug and play character for me. He's a raid store character. So he's fairly easy to get, much more so than the War Store. The credits are a little more easy to come by. He is very solid in skill raid. I use him every day in skill raid. He's great on war offense. He's very plug and play on different teams for war offense. He's amazing on DD3 and DD4. He's also in the meta currently for the arena. You can pair him up with the Eternals and Emma. He goes first, and speed is king in the arena. So that's great. And he also wins in 8.3. I use him on the new Hydra team 2.0, and they win usually in 8.3 pretty decently.
Yeah. I honestly, I have to agree with you, right? If I put Emma on my honor mention, there's no way you can say Emma and not say Baron Zemo. Zemo, sure, in most cases, is an easier farm and easier to get free to play than Emma is, because you could choose your, spend your raid credits for Zemo, as where, Emma, you're at the mercy of the RNG of her dropping out of the milestone orb. So definitely, they also make a great pair. So there you go. All right, let's jump into number 4. Who do you got?
Okay, so my number 4 is Gamora. And Gamora is a little bit of a controversial pick because a lot of people probably wouldn't say her, but I would. And the reason why is because she's a Blitz Store farm. She's super easy to get. She's a solid skill raid substitute. If somebody, dies and you don't want to spend the money to resurrect them, you can always plug in Gamora. She does high damage. And she unlocks Star-Lord. She's a war offense meta with the Infinity Watch. She's great in DD3 and DD4 Cosmic. You can put her with Adam Warlock or some of the other characters. Not Adam Warlock. You can put her with Nebula and some of the other characters and do really good in Cosmic. She's a current arena meta. She's part of the Infinity Watch once again, and she always wins in 8.3. I hit sim and I never have to worry about losing.
That is true. I can't. Yep. I mean, Gamora is great for all the reasons you said. I don't really have anything to add. I think you hit all the bullet points. So let's move into number 3.
Okay, so my number 3 is going to be Bishop. His only downside is that he's a War Store character, and I do not like War Store characters, but he is part of the current raid meta for mutants. He unlocks Magneto. So, and again, I place high value on legendary unlocks, and he's part of the War offense meta right now because Axemen are incredible still in War. He is a solid DD3, DD4 cosmic choice if you want to use him. If you watch my video, I picked him for that as well. And again, Axemen with him on it, they win in 8.3 consistently. So he matches all my criteria.
Yeah, definitely a great character. I mean, he's, at the end of the day, he's just one I haven't seen a whole lot of solo data on. Every single thing I see him with, he's always paired with Jubilee even without the rest of the team, which is very annoying. Pair him with Jubilee, you're guaranteed to get the blind assist every single time, which is very annoying. So, I mean, honestly, can't complain. Great character for all the reasons you said. So I'm going to get into your number 2.
Okay, so number 2 for me is going to be Captain America Sam Wilson. He's node farmable. Unfortunately, he's in the later game, so if you are still free to play, you're going to have to work towards him, but you'll get there. He's part of the raid meta again for skill, part of the Secret Avengers. He unlocks Omega Red. He as part of the Secret Avengers. He's a definitely War offense meta. He's a really good, solid DD3, DD4, sorry, choice. He's great for mid-game arena, and he's another 8.3 win. Once again, hits all the good criteria for me.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's definitely great. I love the fact that the Secret Avenger tag can also perform in anything that has the Avenger classification. So if you're looking at like Gamma Raid, he can do the lanes that say Avenger. A lot of the Doom War chapters, if you're able to unlock this character early through a Mega War, Premium Orbs, or whatever, even in the Doom War chapters that say Avenger, you can use Secret Avengers, which includes Captain America Sam Wilson, a really great character overall. Yeah, I all the time I'm like, oh my god, once he does his speed move, his ult, I'm thinking, oh, I'm in for it, and I usually am.
Yeah, I would even go as far as to saying that if you're a light spender in the game, if you ever are to spend any amount of money, even if you're free to play, if you're going to put any little bit of money in the game, Captain Sam, if you can find him at a really good deal, which is hard, but if you can find him at a really good deal, even if down the road, he's a really good choice to have on your team. He does a lot in the game.
All right. Well, we know what your number 1 is, so let's put her on the screen and wrap this up. And there she is, once again, the number 1 pick for Nature Boy and myself. You want anything to add to her you didn't say before?
No, I just like once again, I just think she's great standalone, especially with her ult. When her ult, if you're in trouble, if you're pinned up against the wall, and she takes a turn and her ult's available, like she saves your life. And she's pulled me out of a pinch so many times I can't even tell you. I don't have her to 7 yet. I have her at 6, but I think I have her at 5 red stars. So I was looking at your 196 Maria, and I was like, wow. I mean that. You're really lucky.
Yeah, I definitely am known for my lucky red star pulls. That is for sure. But with that said, let's wrap this up. Nature Boy, where can they find you?
You guys can find me on YouTube on Nature Boy. I think Mr. Freeplay put a link at the bottom of in the description. But yeah, you find me on YouTube. I do some pretty wacky intros, and I try to keep things comical, you know, and try to kind of give off some good information.
Yeah. Nature Boy, you're probably, I'll be honest with you guys right now, Nature Boy is probably one of the most creative people I've seen, either their commentary on Twitch or whatnot. So I'm expecting really good things from Nature Boy in the future. I know he's just getting started with his YouTube career, but definitely someone to look forward to. If you need a good laugh, Nature Boy's your guy. With that said, guys, if you enjoyed this video, do me a huge favor, hit that thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, what are you doing? Subscribe, hit that notification bell if you don't want to miss anything else in the future, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye. We're are here with a very special guest today, because you could choose your, spend your raid credits for Zemo, as where Emma, sorry. I felt that coming on and I was trying to prevent it.
It's hard.
Let's move into number 2. We're on 2, right?
3.
3. Let's move into number 3.